Tom, in recent months, there's been a lot of talk about AI and using AI in sermon prep, and maybe you could speak to just AI in general and the Christian life, using AI in Bible study and sermon prep and things of that nature, and how we should respond to that technology and how we should use it appropriately.
Yeah, I don't think AI is of the devil. I think it's a tool. It can be a very helpful tool. I use it often, not so much for sermon prep, but I'll tell you a couple of ways I think it can help in that way. But it's a tool, it's a resource, just like all the other tools. I think the big picture problem with AI, there was a great article, I don't remember now where it was, maybe it was in the BBC. There's a great article recently about the danger of it and the fact that it runs the risk of stealing creativity. You know, God made us in His image. God Himself is creative. And if you rely on other factors than the own creative ability God gave you, you lose that skill over time. You lose that ability. And I would add, you also become lazy. You begin to rely on the work of others. You know, I told our seminary guys, you know, I just was playing around. I said, okay, let's see what AI can do. I used a couple different models. And I said, okay, I want you to create an evangelical Protestant sermon, expositional sermon on this passage. And I want you to make it more on the academic educational side. And wanted to see what it could do. And what it generated was, okay. It wasn't something I would ever preach, but it was okay. And I said to the guys, because I talked to a couple of guys who were in this field, I said to them, just understand what AI is. AI is not really creating anything. It's simply digesting what's out there and putting it together in a reasonably coherent way. So really, if you let AI create your sermon, you're not stealing John MacArthur's sermon. You're stealing the sermons of 20 guys, 30 guys, however many sources they're using to put that together. It's just a different number of guys. It's the same thing. And so I would take you back to what Paul says to Timothy. Paul says, be diligent to show yourself a workman, approved to God, rightly dividing, cutting straight the word of God. AI doesn't mesh with that. You're not a diligent workman if you're letting somebody else do your work, whether it's John MacArthur or, like I said, however many sources they're using to piece that together. And so you have a responsibility before God. I have that responsibility. Now, uses of AI, I think, you know, for me, the things that sometimes hardest for me is cutting out the noise. So if I want to say, okay, I want an illustration. I didn't use it this last Sunday for that, my opening illustration about the heart. I pull that elsewhere. But let's say I want an illustration about the heart and details about the heart. Well, I can go to Google and I can search Google and try to find the right source, or I can go to AI and say, give me information about the heart from reputable sources and tell me your sources. And boom, it's there. That saves me time. That's not stealing from anybody. That's borrowing information and getting there quicker than I could get there if I Googled it. So you see what I'm saying? There are legitimate uses for it. Just don't let it be a substitute. And don't let it steal. I would say this. Don't let it erode the image of God in you. Don't let it steal your creativity that God gave you. And don't let it make you lazy, where you are just relying on somebody else's work instead of your own.